Hello there, fans of the Spring Duel channel. Taff108 here, and I promised to do a video about Pan's power, describing the greatest Saiyajin prodigy in the entire franchise. But first, I want to talk about why the Saiyajins are so strong in Dragon Ball to begin with. For those who aren't new to the channel, you know that I did a video almost an entire year ago where I talked about the Saiyajins and how they're a weak race. And I still believe that. This video will simply explain why the fandom perceives Saiyajins as being so powerful, despite the fact that, in terms of the greater universe, they might as well all be Raditz. I'll do this with 3 different methods. If a particular method interests you, you are more than welcome to look at the timestamps on the screen before you, and then skip ahead. But keep in mind that each argument is going to build off of one another, so you're probably better off just listening to all of them. So, the reasons will be as follows. The place the Saiyajins had in the narrative, the characters who are Saiyajins within the narrative, and the abilities that are just flat out given to Saiyajin characters as opposed to others. Without further ado, let's get to it. It's the 3rd damn script I had to write because my computer kept crashing. Now, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, and have been in the franchise for literally any length of time, then you know that retconning is Toriyama's best friend. He writes by the seam of his pants, and we all love him for it. And that's exactly what the Saiyajins are, the biggest retcon in the entire franchise. During the course of the story, the second part of the manga specifically, known here in the West as Dragon Ball Z, the Saiyajins are introduced. Raditz specifically is revealed to be Goku's older brother, who is disappointed that Goku didn't conquer Earth. Retcons aside from Dragon Ball Minus, Raditz, upon appearing, is so strong that he could stomp everyone in Dragon Ball at 50% of his power without even trying. And he was such a big threat in his initial appearance that it required Piccolo's new technique and a double KO on Goku's part in order for him to actually lose. And he was considered a weakling by the other Saiyajins, Nappa and Vegeta, who can grow a creature called a Cyberman, which under optimal conditions are almost as strong as Raditz. And Goku, even after training with a god like Kaio, ended up being crippled by just Vegeta, and Nappa killed everyone among the Z fighters aside from Gohan and Krillin with minimal effort. Jump to the Frieza saga, and Vegeta is slowly but surely taking out all of Frieza's men, alongside Gohan, with minor assistance from Krillin, to the point where by the end of the arc, all of the Saiyajins surpassed Frieza's elite squads, and Goku unlocked Super Saiyajin, a transformation which made him stronger than Frieza, allowing him to defeat the most feared man in the entire universe. Enter the Cell Saga, and Trunks appears from the future. Using this transformation, Super Saiyajin, he defeats Frieza and Cold with ease. Vegeta achieves the form, and they outstrip all of the Earthling characters. Piccolo had to merge with God just to keep up, and then they surpassed the SSJ wall, and he fell behind again. Gohan surpassed everyone when he achieved Super Saiyajin, and then he went ahead and defeated a solar system buster in the same arc, at age 9. Ridiculous. Gohan is a monster. Jump to the Buu saga, and Goku and Vegeta have not only grown in power, but they've grown so much that the mightiest gods in the universe, at least at the time, are left in shock and awe of even Gohan, who hasn't trained in 7 years. Goten and Trunks are only children, yet they can ascend and fight at such a level that 18 doesn't want to risk fighting them. At different points in the arc, Goku, Gohan, Gotenks either match or surpass the most powerful monster in the universe. Then we get the Super and GT, where Goku and Vegeta are without a doubt the strongest fighters in the universe with very few exceptions. And as such, we see throughout the entirety of Z and beyond that the Saiyajin race is the strongest and everyone else is just having to play catch up. And I think this is due to who we see in the franchise throughout its duration. The entirety of Dragon Ball is Son Goku's story. Everything we follow is through his eyes, and his skills are always on the forefront of the franchise. So it's no surprise that we associate the Saiyajins with strength when the star of Akira Toriyama's manga is a Saiyajin and continues to outdo every other character. When he started out, Goku outstripped everyone in just his base form. When Toriyama revealed the stat cheats that are Super Saiyajin, no one could keep up, except for Piccolo, who just ended up falling behind anyway. And we have Vegeta, who is Goku's rival, and as such is nearly as strong as Goku in most cases, or as strong as him, at his best. Fulfilling the role of a rival in Shonen, Vegeta gets to be the second strongest casually, and again gives the spot to a Saiyajin. This is also not to mention the fact that Vegeta was a villain at one point. And in that very same arc, he was able to endure his own planet-busting Gallic Gun, Goku's 4 times Kamehameha, a Gekidama, the first one of the franchise no less, blows from Great Ape Uzuru Gohan landing on top of him, a sword slash from Yajirobe. He had a lot of hype to live up to, and he certainly did. And then we have Gohan, who is the son of the main protagonist and is also a main character. He shows these traits in full as he surpassed his father at the age of 4, and at the age of 9 he unlocked the highest transformation available, while surpassing every other character. He stops training for 7 years, yet he's still the 3rd strongest character in the franchise, and then he had his potential unleashed and he surpassed everyone again. Trunks is the son of Vegeta and Bulma, so he's the son of the rival character and the most important female character in the entire franchise. When he shows up from the future, he kills Frieza and King Cold with ease in order to prop up the importance of the artificial humans as a threat. He starts a trend of the humans saying that no one except the Super Saiyajin stands even a chance against these monsters. His present timeline counterpart, again, as just a child, had a key attack that scared number 18, and he was given better treatment in that arc than Piccolo, alongside his fused form of Gotenks. Fusion or not, Goten and Trunks, these 2 prepubescent shrimps, managed to surpass some of the fiercest fighters in Universe 7 with ease. And those are just the protagonists. If we look at the antagonists, we have characters like Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale, Saiyajins from Universe 6, who despite being an entire universe away, were incredibly adept fighters, who managed to match Universe 7's mightiest Saiyajins blow for blow, at least for the most part. And then we have Kafla, the fusion between 2 Saiyajins, who gave Ultra Instinct Omen Goku a run for his money. The same Goku was supposedly approaching the level of Hakaishin. So it's easy to come off with the impression that Saiyajins are remarkably strong as a race, when they're the majority of the main cast of the series, and as such the strongest characters with the most worthwhile feats. And Toriyama had to come up with a lot of elements in order to justify this. If you pay attention to the series, a lot of the traits Toriyama liked to give his fighters, like the desire to fight, eating large amounts of food, these things were instead just made into Saiyajin traits. Mutually, he had to justify why Saiyajins were becoming rapidly stronger in a short amount of time. Enter the Saiyajin trait known as a Zenkai. Thanks to this, Saiyajins could rapidly increase their power in a short period of time in ways that were never possible for their race before. The strength increase was so remarkable that Ginyu thought Goku was a mutant. And this led to the Super Saiyajin transformation, which required they have a base strength the Saiyajin race had never experienced before, and anger they probably didn't have either. And then it was revealed that you had to have a specific amount of S cells. There goes that retconning I mentioned again. This became the crux for how the strength of Saiyajins entered the franchise. Super Saiyajin began to get additional forms on top of itself, a ascended level 2, then level 3, and then we get forms beyond that like Super Saiyajin God, Super Saiyajin 4, and Super Saiyajin Blue. Because every new enemy should be able to face the strongest form of the main character, who's Goku. So because Jiren is stronger than Super Saiyajin Blue, Goku needed Ultra Instinct in order to win. And as a result, you presume every Saiyajin is capable of this, and you associate the strength of Son Goku with the strength of his race as a whole. And the same thing happens with Vegeta, and with Gohan, and with Trunks. The current Broly movie is going to really hammer this point home. The movie has been marketed as the origin of Saiyajin power. And who is going to be the main villain of that movie? A Saiyajin. So, yet again, the fans of this franchise will see a Saiyajin who in just his base form is as strong, if not stronger, than Super Saiyajin Blue. So when they see how strong Broly is, they will inevitably have to correlate that with his race. Which leads to this idea.
We can do this. After all, we are both Saiyans. Wasn't ours the mightiest race in the universe before it was destroyed? What, you just figured that out?
And to Kafla saying things like this. The narrative just falls apart if certain Saiyajins aren't strong. Raditz needs to be strong enough that Goku has to die during their fight. Nappa has to be strong enough that the Z-Fighters die. Vegeta is the main villain of the Saiyajin saga, so he has an entire arc's worth of build-up that he has to live up to with his power. Goku is the main protagonist. Gohan is the son of the main protagonist and is a main character himself. Trunks has to be strong enough to make the artificial humans appear to be a serious threat. Goten and Trunks have to be strong enough that we think they can actually carry the story on their own without the help of their fathers. Or, in some instances, even the help of Gohan. We could even include Goku Black, who is just Goku but evil. And Broly is the threat to come after Jiren. With the high stakes that Jiren set during the Tournament of Power, it would feel underwhelming if the next villain didn't at least top his power. And the fact that he is a Saiyajin is just secondary to that fact. So I really hope that this video helped everyone to understand what I was talking about when I said the Saiyajins are actually a weak race, because the strength that we perceive for Saiyajins isn't from their own natural power, the power of the race naturally exhibits. It's from these freak ultra prodigies, these rare cases, these 1 in a million chances that are Son Goku, Vegeta, and their progeny. I hope that you've gained a little insight as to why people perceive the Saiyajins as so strong. Because at the end of the day, we're following a story about a Saiyajin, and everything he does will be attributed to the race, even though the majority of them couldn't even dream of cracking a battle power of 60,000 without Uzuru. And I'm curious to see how this new movie will look at the strength of the Saiyajins. Will they agree that they were limited by their tails, as I showed before? Will they pretend they have always been this strong? Or will they lean into the idea that transformations are their true power? I'm personally a little excited to find out, because honestly, Saiyajins as a race would be utterly destroyed by Cell Saga Yamcha. No difficulty, excluding post-Namek Saiyajin. That being said, this is the end of the video. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. I want to hear your thoughts, so go ahead and hit me up in the comment section down below. Let me know how you feel about this concept. I want to shout out Swagkage, who gave me the idea for this video after I watched his video about the Uchiha clan. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it and share it. Hell, you can subscribe if you think you're interested in what I have to say. I promise that Pan video, where I talk about how strong Pan actually is going to blow your minds. You're not going to have any inkling of the kind of power Pan is really packing in GT. I'm going to try to do 3 videos a week from now on. One for every current facet this channel represents. So one for Dragon Ball, one for SJWs and comics, and one for comics in general. I'm also going to be redoing older videos with improved visuals and audio. So if you guys have a video you'd like to see redone, put it in a comment down below and I'll take a look at it. And depending on which video gets like the most suggestions, I suppose, that'll be the one I prioritize. But for right now, I'm going to redo the Saiyajins Are Weak video. That's for sure. That's probably the first one on the docket, unless there's one you guys want to see done more. And remember, you can always feel free to suggest a video topic. If I like it, I'll definitely end up doing it. That's what I did with the GT response video that I just recently uploaded. And if you want to guarantee that I do your suggestion, you can always hit up the Patreon, which isn't 100% set up yet, but I will be getting on that. I've just been really busy, so I haven't had a chance to do it yet. But I wanted to get that out there. And if there's a video you think should be debunked, you can also leave that down below. I'll pretty much take a look at any video you guys send me, any video you suggest. So just like give me a link, message me on Twitter or other social medias, which are all linked down below. You can also hit me up in Discord, and I'll feel free to talk to you about it. And if I think it's worth a video, I'll definitely make it. Now, I've said way too much. This video's dragged on thanks to that little monologue at the end there. So I hope you all have a great day. Remember to keep GT strong and stay supreme. TAF 108 out.